Hello everyone, how are you all doing? Great. So here I am with this sunflower with pot, and today we are going to learn how to crochet this sunflower leaf and the pot. So this pot with sunflower, it is 7.5 inches and flower size is 4 inches. This is the back. It's a green from the back and it's a brown color from the front. This is how the sunflower is like, brown and yellow, and the green is the leaf. This is the sand, the brown color here I have used this as the sand, and this is the pot. The color of the pot can be of any color, it totally up to you, but sunflower will look good if you use these colors. So let's learn how to crochet this sunflower leaf and the pot. So to make this sunflower I would need these 4 colors: brown and yellow for sunflower, green is for the pattern, and this green beige color is for the pot. Now I have this wire for the sunflower stem, and the crochet I'm using here is 3 mm crochet hook I'm using. So let's start. So I will start with this brown color. I'll start with the magic ring. So you hold the yarn like this, bring this yarn on the top of your fingers and make a cross like this. Insert your hook, pull the yarn through this and make a stitch. So the first round we are going to do is 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you have this yarn and this loose end. You pull this loose end so that the gap is disappear, and you close the circle in the first stitch. You insert the hook in the first stitch, pull the yarn through the first stitch to the front, and in the last loop you do a slip stitch. Then you make a stitch here. Now in the first round you have 6 stitches, 6 single crochet, and in round 2 you will have 12. So I'm going to increase 1 stitch in each of the stitch of round 1. Keep this loose end around this round so that it is stitched together. So 1, 2, in the second one, 1 and 2, in third, 1 and 2, 4, 1, 2, fifth, 1, 2, 6. So you have 12 single crochet in round 2. So in the first stitch, this is the first stitch, and in the first stitch you close this round. So you do a slip stitch, chain 1. In round 3 I'll crochet 1 single stitch. In the next one, 2 single stitch, 1 single stitch, 2 single stitch. So in the next I'll do 1 single stitch. In the next stitch of round 2 I'll do 2 single stitch, 1 and 2. In row 2 you had 12 single stitches. In row 3 you will have 18. 1, increase, 1 and increase, 1 and increase. So you complete round 3. In the first stitch you do a slip stitch, chain 1. In the first stitch itself you do a single stitch, increase and single stitch. So this is the pattern you follow for round 4. Single stitch, 2 single stitch and single stitch. So single stitch, 2 single stitch and single stitch. Now the second is single stitch, 2 single stitches in one, then single stitch, one set. Now single stitch, 2 single stitch and single stitch. So that's how you complete your round 4 and stitch it in the first stitch with a slip stitch. Now chain 1. For round 5 we do increase 3 single stitch, increase 3 single stitch. So in first you'll do single stitch, then in next single stitch, and in next single stitch. In the fourth you increase, then 3 single stitch in 3 different stitches, 2, 3 and increase. Repeat the pattern. So in round 5 you will have 30 stitches. So this is your round 5 is complete. Now you close the circle. So you close the circle with single stitch and chain 1 and you cut the yarn because that's the size we need. So we need 5 rounds for this one. So as you can see, we need 2 brown circles, 1, 2 and 1 green circle. Similarly, you crochet 1 more and 1 green color round. So here we have crocheted 2 brown and 1 green. Now we work on the flower. For that we will use this yellow color. So for flower I will use 1 brown color and 1 green color. This is the back, this is the front. So I'll keep this one aside and we will attach these two together. So the extra yarn which we have with both the circles will hold them inside. And you now crochet. You always make sure that this brown color, it must be towards you. It should be the front side and this is the back. So you always crochet your flower towards this brown color. So insert the hook in the first stitch. Let's see here. Okay, and you insert your yellow color. For the first, I will just do the single stitch, insert hook and pull the yarn, make a stitch. So I also have this loose end for the yellow color, so I'll keep it inside along this brown and green colors. Now in the next stitch, pull the yarn, make a stitch. Pull the yarn, make a stitch. So you do the single stitch around the circle. So you stitch green and brown. So you complete this round and come here. Then we'll start working on the petals. So you finish till here. Don't crochet this. Till here we finish. So we have crocheted these two and this is the space. I've not crocheted yet. So we will insert the fiber. So I have this fiber with me. So we'll insert it inside the circles. So we have filled it with the fiber. Now you can close it. So again, in every stitch you make a single stitch. When you reach to the first stitch, in the first stitch itself you do a slip stitch. Okay, now we will work on the petal. So for the petals we do chain 1, chain 2, yarn over, and in the next stitch you do a double crochet, and in the same stitch you do a triple double crochet. Yarn over 2 times and yarn pull 2 times. Now you do chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and in these two loops, through these two loops, you pull the yarn and do a slip stitch. Now in the next stitch, you do yarn over twice, and in the next stitch, you do a triple double crochet. 1, 2, and then stitch. And in the same stitch, you do double crochet. And in the next stitch, you do slip stitch. So single stitch. Okay. Now chain 1. In the next, you do double crochet. And in the same, you do triple double crochet. And chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Insert your hook in these two loops. Pull the yarn through the loops and then slip stitch. In the next, you do triple double crochet. Then in the same stitch, you do 1 double crochet. And in the next, you do single stitch and chain 1. Similarly, you do all the patterns. So I have finished crocheting complete round, and we are in the last stitch. And you stitch it with the slip stitch. Insert your hook in both the green and brown rounds. Slip stitch. And then you insert your hook in the first stitch of first pattern, like this, and make a slip stitch. So cut the yarn and then pull the yarn through this loop. Take it to the back, and now make a knot with one of the stitch on the back side. Now it is strongly tied, and I'll insert my hook on the back in this green round, and I'll pull this yellow yarn inside, so it is hidden. So this is our sunflower ready. Next is the pot. So let's start. So to work on the pot, I'm taking 2 strands of this brown color, this cream color, to make it strong, to make the pot strong. So it totally depends on you. If your yarn is already thick, you can work with the 1 strand, and if you like to work with the 2, so you can continue with the 2 strands. So I'm taking 2 strands here. Make a ring. So I'm going to make a similar round, which we made with this for this brown and the green color. So the same pattern we will follow. So we'll start with the magic ring, and then you do a chain, stitch 6 stitches. And pull this end, and you follow the same pattern for the round 2. You do the 2 stitches in 1 stitch of round 1. So if you want, you can go back and watch how we crocheted that round, brown color round. So I'll meet you after completing this round, and then we work on the height. So similarly, I have completed this round. I have crocheted 5 rounds. Now it's time to close. So insert your crochet from the back and pull this loop to the back. Make sure you pull both the strands. Now insert your hook in the middle of the last stitch, and then insert in the loops and stitch both of them together. Now make a stitch. Now stitch in the next, in the first. So I'm now going to work on the height of the pot, and I'll work on the only on the this on the back loop of the stitch. I am not picking both the strands, I'm only picking the back and stitch it. Next, pick the back loop, so this is your front, this is the outer base of the pot, and this is inside. I'm just picking the top of inside loop of the round. I'm stitching this with the single stitch. So similarly you complete the round with the single stitch in the back loop only. So I have crocheted this first stitch on the height. So I've crocheted this complete round, and here we have reached to the first stitch. So insert your hook from the back in the first stitch. Take both the strands and both the loops. Pull this loop to the back. Now come in the first stitch itself. Pull the loop to the front. Take out your crochet, and from the front you make a stitch. Move to the next, single crochet, and you complete this second round. Similarly we complete the 10 rounds. That is the height of the pot we are going to achieve. So you complete the 10 rounds. So I have completed second round here, and I've reached to the last stitch. Now let's close it again. So after completing all the rounds, every single round you need to close it like this. Insert your hook from the back in the first stitch and pull both the loops to the back. Make a stitch. Then insert your hook in the first stitch. Pull the yarn. Take out your crochet and insert your crochet in the first loop and pull the back loop from the first, like this. Now you continue with the third round. In every single stitch you make a single stitch, and you complete the round and stitch it in the same way you closed the second round. So we crochet the 10 rounds. That is the height we need for the pot. So this is the third round I am working on. I will do 7 more rounds and complete this pot. I'll meet you after completing the 10 rounds, and then we will work again further, and then we will work further. So let's meet you after completing 10 rounds. So we have completed 10 rounds here, and now it's time to close. Pull this loop a little like this. Insert your hook in the back of the first stitch. Pull this loop to the backs. In the next round we are going to work in this outer loop of the stitch. So I'll bring this yarn here inside, and I'll insert my hook in this stitch in the outer loop of the last stitch, like this, and I'll take the loop and make a stitch. Then I'll make a chain of 2. So now we are going to work on the outer loop of this round, only this outer loop, and we are going to stitch the double crochet. So yarn over in this stitch the double crochet, yarn over in the next double crochet, so you stitch the double crochet in every outer loop of this 10th row, 10th round. So I've crocheted the double crochet for the complete round, and we have reached to the first stitch. First I'll cut this yarn and close. Insert my crochet in the back of the stitch. First I'll take out the yarn, insert my crochet in the back of the first stitch, pull the yarn to the back, and then insert my crochet in the last stitch and pull this yarn. So it is closed. Now if you do close this in the same way, so the pattern will look like this, like we have for the other stitches. Now I'll bend my double crochet to the outer side, and I pull this thread to the inside and stitch it. So if I stitch it here, so this double crochet will stick to the downward, and this is the look which we want for our pot. So we want this double crochet bent downward, so I'll stitch it to the pot. Just make 1 or 2 knots, and this will be hidden inside because we are going to close the pot. It is done. You can leave the thread inside. This is how your pot looks like. Now we are going to make 1 more stitch. So hold your yarn, and in this stitch of bottom stitch you do a single stitch. Pull the yarn through any of the stitch and make a stitch here, and in every stitch you do a single stitch. So in every stitch of this bottom you do a single stitch and complete the round. This will give you the base. This will base to the top. So I've completed this round, and I'll cut this yarn and I'll stitch this last stitch with the first stitch. So I'll pull out the complete yarn and insert my hook in the back of the first stitch. Pull it out, pull the yarn to the back, and then insert my hook in the middle of last stitch, and then pull the yarn. Okay. So it gives you the clean closing. And now I'll pull my extra yarn inside the pot. And tie both the strands inside. You can leave the extra yarn inside because we are going to stuff it. So this is how your pot looks like. The bottom, the sides, and the top. So to make the pattern, I am taking this Cotton Dreams green yarn, 1 wire and 3 mm hook. So let's start. So we'll start with a knot. You hold the yarn like this, make a cross and pull the yarn through this and make a knot. Now I'll crochet chain of 13. 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, 13. So this is my chain of 13. Now I'll skip this one chain, one stitch, and in the second I'll do the single stitch. In the third I'll do double crochet. In fourth I'll again do double crochet. Now I'll be doing 2 double crochets. So I'll do 2 times yarn over, and in the fourth pull yarn through one yarn over, then through second yarn over, and then out of both the loops. Same for the next. So you'll repeat this double crochet, 2 level double crochets till you have the 3 stitches left. 1, 2, 3. So till here I'll be doing this 2 yarn over and yarn pull through the 1 yarn over, then pull through the second yarn over. So you have 3 stitches left. 1, 2, 3. So this side also, in first 3 stitches we did 1 single stitch and 2 double crochet, and this side also we'll do 2 double crochet and 1 stitch. So yarn over 1 time. In the next you do the double crochet. Again you do double crochet, and in the next you do single stitch. Okay, so you will be able to see the curve. So here it is less and then it is going high. Now it is also coming down. So 1 stitch, and in the same gap you do the single stitch, hold this end together, and in the next stitch you do double crochet. So we are basically doing the exactly same stitch on the opposite side. So you have double crochet on this side. So here also we do the double crochet. Next we have the double crochet again. So this side also we'll do double crochet. Hold this end with the petal, double crochet. So 2 double crochet we did. Now we have this big double crochet. So 2 times yarn over, pull yarn through 1 yarn over, then through second yarn over, and then through the loops. Do it again. Pull through 1, through second, and so you do it till you are left with 3 stitches. One more. Check if you have reached to the double crochet. Yes. So here 1, 2, 3. So here we'll do yarn over 1 time and make a double crochet stitch. Then again we do double crochet, and then we do the single stitch. Now we stitch again in the same gap and we attach wire to it. And so you hold your wire between this yarn and the hook. We are going to stitch it on the side of the petals. So to stitch it with the petal, the stitch we are going to follow is, In one stitch we'll do one single stitch, in the next stitch we'll do two single crochet, then again one single crochet, then two single crochet, one single crochet, two single crochet. So that's what we are doing. And when you reach at the top of the petal, then you do on the top, on this point, you do the chain of 3, and then you come to this side and follow the same pattern. So let's start. So you leave this much of the end, so 4 or 5 centimeter, you leave the wire, and in the next stitch you insert your hook, pull the yarn and hold the wire like this, and on the top of this wire you do the single stitch. Now we are in the next, pull the yarn and do the 2 single stitch, 1 and 2. In the next we do 1 single stitch, in the next you do 2 single stitch, one and 2. So on the sides you follow the same, 1 single stitch, 2 single stitch, two single stitch. So now you are at the top of the petal, at the peak of this petal. So you do the chain of 3, 1, 2 and 3, and in the very next you do single stitch. And in the next you again do 2 single stitch, then 1 single stitch, 2 single stitch, and with the same pattern you go down to the end of the pattern. Working with wire is very easy because these are very soft and you can bend them as you like. So it is very easy to work with them. So we have reached to the end of the petal, and this is ready. Now we are going to close it. So I'll take a loop, make it big, and through this wire I'll hold both the wires together. Since I have just left with this much of wire, otherwise if you have the bigger wire left, so you can cut the wires. So I'll just twist them like this so that they can be tied together and they can be tightly wrapped in the wire, in the thread. So you keep this much of the wire and with you so that whenever you attach it to any of the flower or in a pot anywhere, so you will be able to fix it. So you always keep this much of the end with the petal so that you can attach it with the stem or in the pot. Okay, so now you will wrap this thread around the wire so that it is covered. And I'll cut the yarn here and through this loop, wrapping the wire and closing it, it's totally up to you. You just need to make sure that your wire is not visible and you don't have any loose end. just to close this, I'll pass my yarn through this loop, and I'll press this loop so that it is tight. So now my petal is ready. So now we have our flower ready, pot, petal, and the sand. So we have everything ready with us. Get the fiber, get the stick. Now it's time to assemble the flower. So I'll first take flower and the stick, and you insert the flower stick in the flower. So you can insert it in. So I'm inserting it in the second row, and I'll take it to the back, to the top, and I bend the stick like this, and in the next stitch I'll insert in the flower, back into the flower. So like this. Okay, so it is now stick to this stick. Now we'll take the green yarn, hold it with the stick, and move it around the stick. For 2-3 rounds I'll keep rotating it at one position here only, so that if anytime we pull the stick, you don't see the stick, you just see the thread. So pull a stick a little and move it around the stick like this. Now you can come down and cover the whole stick with this green thread. And when you reach to the center of the stick, that is where we stick our petal. We adjust our petal. This is the petal and this is the front side. So you hold it with the stem, with the stick, and now move the thread around both of them. For 2 or 3 rounds I'll take from between the stick and the leaf, just to fix it perfectly, to tie it strongly. And now keep rotating downwards. So this is where I'm going to place my sunflower in the sand. So just go a little more and you cut your yarn here and make a knot. Okay, so our petal is fixed with the stick. Now you insert this flower, the stick, in the sand. See the right side, this is the side, correct side, and from the front only, through this hole, you insert your stick of the flower. Now we are going to fix it with the glue. So on the back side you fix it with the glue. After it is dry, you need to stitch this sand with the pot and fill this. First you fill the pot with the fiber and stitch this sand with the pot, and your flower is ready. So let's put it to dry. So the wax is now dry, this glue is dry and hard. Now we are going to attach it with the pot. So you place it on the pot like this. Take the yarn, keep this end inside. So we're going to stitch on in this stitch only. So in the front stitch you did the double crochets, and in the back stitch you're going to attach your sand in your plant. Insert your hook in one and then insert in the pot stitch, pull the yarn, then insert in the next, insert and do a slip stitch. Next, pull the yarn, pull it out and slip stitch. Insert in the next hook, pull and slip stitch. So the same slip stitch you are going to do for the complete round, but you stop before finishing it because we also need to fill it with the fiber. That we will do after we stitch it more than half. So when you have this much of the stitch open, that's when you insert your fiber. So fill the pot with the fiber. After you fill your pot with the fiber, you can now close this complete round. So I've stitched the complete round and I'll cut the yarn here and I'll pull out, and then you close it in the first stitch. Insert your hook in the first stitch, pull this yarn in this middle of the last stitch and pull this yarn through the last stitch. So we need to hide it inside the pot. So from the last stitch only I'll pull it out, and here I'll make a knot. So it will be hidden under this. So I'll make a knot here. Just make 1 or 2 knots so that your stitch don't open later. And then pull this extra thread inside. Like this. So your sunflower with the pot is now ready. Let me know in the comment section what do you think. How does it look? Thank you for watching.